Right now, in the middle of Addis Ababa, there's a local entrepreneur running a highly sophisticated AI-driven university software system.
Yeah, which is incredible.
And the craziest part is they didn't write a single line of code to build it. They didn't, raise millions in Silicon Valley venture capital to get it off the ground.
Not a dime.
In fact, if you look at how they manage their primary corporate communications with the actual engineers, it's all just happening on WhatsApp.
Right. It's a complete inversion of how we typically think about tech entrepreneurship. I mean, we're so conditioned to believe that building a software empire requires, a massive team of developers and years of coding.
Exactly.
But what we're looking at today is just a radically different architecture. It's really a
Yeah.
bridge between high-level engineering and, well, local hustle.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're unpacking a company called ATMC, which is this rapidly growing global IT firm.
Yeah, they are expanding fast.
And we're going to explore the actionable ways that you, yes, you listening right now, can partner with them. Whether your goal is to become a franchisee or operate as an independent agent, or even just deploy their tech as a customer to build your own startup.
We're basically laying out the entire playbook today.
We really are. And we have a super robust stack of materials to pull from for this. We're looking at ATMC's 2025 sales channel policy documents. We're digging through their massive YouTube product catalog.
Which is huge, by the way.
It's massive, plus their corporate tech talks. And we're pulling insights directly from their active LinkedIn presence to really see how this operates on the ground.
Yeah, and this deep dive is essentially like a business-in-a-box playbook for anyone ambitious enough to try it.
Totally. We're going to look at the engine that makes this possible, break down the exact partnership tiers, and explore the insane catalog of software you can access. But, before we get into the exact commission percentages or how you actually sign up, we really need to understand what you'd be partnering with, like the thematic core of it.
Right, because if a company is offering over 500 world-class software solutions, I mean, everything from taxi apps to banking security, the natural question is, how on earth do they manage all that?
Seriously, how do they?
Well, the answer lies in how their engineering team in India actually builds the software. They rely on what they call a composable software foundation.
Okay, make sure I'm getting this right. I saw a tech talk in our sources where they used an analogy for this, is that like the EV skateboard chassis,
Yes, that is exactly the analogy they use.
where an electric vehicle company spends, billions developing one incredibly robust base layer, the chassis that holds the battery pack and the motors.
Yes,
And that base is identical across their entire lineup, right?
that's exactly it. I mean, the foundational engineering doesn't change. Whether that EV manufacturer wants to sell a sports car or like a heavy-duty delivery truck, the underlying mechanics are identical.
Ah, okay.
ATMC does the exact same thing with enterprise software. They've already done all the heavy lifting on the payment gateways, the user authentication, the database management, the cloud hosting.
So that's the skateboard.
Right, that's the skateboard. Then they just drop customized shells on top, the front-end workflows and the user interfaces for totally different industries.
Okay, let's unpack this, because this explains how they avoid getting crushed by technical debt.
Yes, precisely.
Because, technical debt is basically the invisible cost of maintaining code, fixing bugs, constantly updating servers. If you have 500 completely different products, the technical debt would just bankrupt you.
It would be impossible to maintain. But because the core engine is unified, they're really just maintaining one central system. They handle all the coding, the server maintenance, the security patches.
And it's huge.
But that brings us to the core question, right? Why share the pie?
Yeah, why do they need me?
Exactly. If they have the software, why do they need you, the listener, to partner with them? Why not just sell it directly to hospitals and city governments straight from their headquarters in India?
Because you can't sell a complex municipal tax portal through a targeted Facebook ad.
Exactly. No hospital administrator is clicking a banner ad and deciding to migrate their entire patient database. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
Enterprise software requires high trust, face-to-face relationships. ATMC has the technology, but they don't inherently possess local trust in every single market globally.
That makes so much sense.
They need local entrepreneurs who understand the local business culture, who know how to navigate regional regulatory friction, people who actually understand the specific pain points of their own community.
So it's a completely symbiotic relationship. They
Mhm.
provide the tech, you provide the trust. And that symbiosis is formalized into a very specific business structure, which they've outlined in their 2025 sales channel policy.
Yeah, it's a fascinating document because it's essentially a sliding scale of entrepreneurship. It's designed to accommodate totally different levels of capital and commitment from the partner.
Let's break down how that scale actually works, because there are numbers here. The policy outlines 5 distinct tiers of partnership. At the very top, you have the master franchisee,
Right.
and they're pulling in a 35% commission. Then there's the standard franchise tier at a 30% commission. Now, these top 2 tiers do require a signing fee, right?
They do, yeah. And the policy states that the fee is determined by the specific market potential of your territory.
Okay, but in return, the biggest draw here is that they offer exclusive territorial selling rights.
And that territorial exclusivity is a massive asset. Plus, the master franchisee actually gets the right to appoint sub-franchisees under them.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, so you're essentially building your own downstream sales network. And ATMC also provides dedicated training, operational support, and exclusive marketing materials for these tiers.
Wait, let me push back here. Because if this technology is so accessible and the foundation is essentially, copy-paste, what stops this from becoming a massive race to the bottom?
What do you mean?
Like, if I buy into this and start selling an instant food delivery system to restaurants in my city, what stops my neighbor from partnering with ATMC, getting the exact same startup in a box, and just undercutting me on price?
That is a critical question, and it's exactly why those exclusive territorial rights exist for the franchise tiers.
Oh, I see.
Right? If you secure a territory, you own that market for ATMC products. Your neighbor physically cannot partner with them to sell in your defined region. What's fascinating here is how this tiered structure brilliantly democratizes tech entrepreneurship while still protecting the local founder.
That's incredibly smart.
It completely removes the traditional barriers to entry. You don't need to secure venture capital or hire Silicon Valley engineers, but it still gives you the monopoly power of a localized tech firm.
That makes a lot of sense. It protects your investment. But what if a listener is just bootstrapping? Like, they don't want to pay a signing fee, they just want to hustle and start selling.
That's where the middle tiers come in. You have the master agent or agency tier sitting at a 25% commission,
Okay.
and the standard agent or agency at a 20% commission. There is absolutely no signing fee for these tiers.
0.
Zero. You get the selling rights to all of ATMC's products, and you receive the soft copy marketing materials to help you pitch. It's pure upside for someone who just wants to leverage their local network.
That's wild. And finally, there's the referral partner tier at a 10% commission, which is 0 risk. You just, promote and advertise their services and take a cut of the leads you generate.
Exactly. It really is a sliding scale.
But what if you're listening to this and you don't actually want to sell software to other businesses? What if you want to be the customer?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you have a burning idea for a startup in your city, or you want to radically optimize a business you already own.
Then you're looking at deploying that skateboard chassis for your own use.
Mm-hmm.
And the sheer variety of the tools available in their catalog is just staggering. We're talking about almost every conceivable industry vertical.
Let's explore some of that catalog, because their LinkedIn feed is wild. They frequently post about these highly specific startup packages.
You do.
For example, they highlight a hyper-local laundry aggregator app. You can purchase the infrastructure to connect all the local laundry services in your city through one unified customer app.
It's basically a ready-made business.
Totally. They have instant food delivery packages, complete with customer-facing apps, restaurant backend apps, and even delivery rider routing apps.
Right.
They even have taxi aggregator software ready to deploy. You can literally launch an Uber for X in your town tomorrow.
And if you move from the startup aggregator space into the institutional space, their edtech solutions are incredibly robust. They offer a complete school ERP software system.
Okay, for the listener, an ERP, or Enterprise Resource Planning System, is basically the central nervous system of a business or institution.
Exactly. It connects the accounting, the HR, the daily operations, all into one massive database.
Right, and ATMC's school ERP doesn't just have like a generic login. It features 6 separate, fully integrated panels.
So detailed.
There's a super admin panel that manages multiple school branches, a teacher panel for attendance and lesson planning, a parent panel to track fees and homework, a student panel, an accountant panel with fee allocation, and even a dedicated librarian panel.
Yeah, for managing book issuance and inventory, it really handles the entire ecosystem.
It does. But while aggregator apps and school management tools are impressive,
They are.
here's where it gets really interesting. Because when you move past the schools and the delivery apps, you get into their enterprise and civic infrastructure tools.
Yeah.
This is where we see technology that actively shapes society.
Let's look at the financial sector for a second. ATMC offers an AI-based automated fraud and suspicious transaction detection tool called Sentinel AI.
Okay.
Now, in the banking world, deploying AI to analyze transactions is a massive privacy risk. You absolutely cannot have an AI system exposing your customers' raw personal data to developers or third-party servers.
Right. That would be a nightmare. So how do they actually solve that?
Sentinel AI uses what's called a zero-knowledge architecture, specifically utilizing SHA-256 processing.
Okay, break that down for us. What does that actually mean in practice?
Think of SHA-256 hashing like taking a highly sensitive document with a customer's name and social security number, putting it through a mathematical paper shredder, and handing the AI the bag of shreds.
Oh, interesting.
The AI is incredibly smart. You can look at the pattern, the weight, and the frequency of those shreds to spot clustered, high-value fraudulent activity. But the process is mathematically one way.
Meaning you can't reverse it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can never piece those shreds back together to see the original document.
So the system can flag a fraudulent transaction in real time without the front-end interface ever actually knowing the identity of the person making the transaction.
Exactly. It's enterprise-grade risk management that ensures complete regulatory compliance. And they're deploying similar intelligence in the civic space, too, with their e-municipality tools.
Oh, the garbage collection fleet management system. That was fascinating.
Walk us through how a local entrepreneur would actually use that.
Right. So imagine you're a local tech agent in a mid-sized city, and the mayor is complaining about municipal waste inefficiencies.
A classic problem.
You don't have to hire a team to code a solution. You just purchase ATMC's fleet management backend. It tracks the waste collection trucks in real time. It monitors the total distance traveled.
Wow.
It automatically generates fines if a driver speeds, and it produces live route deviation reports. Like, it can show the municipality exactly what percentage a vehicle deviated from its predefined path over a 7-day period.
It's incredible.
You're suddenly providing smart city infrastructure to your local government, just like that.
And we know this level of deployment actually works because we have real-world proof right in the sources. The documentation highlights a really great case study featuring a guy named Banty.
Right, he's the general manager of a firm called E-Top IT Solutions PLC, based in Ethiopia.
Yes. And he utilized ATMC for a learning management system, right, for university base.
Yeah, that's right.
And what's crucial about Banty's testimonial isn't just that the software worked. He really praised the operational support.
Which is huge.
Because when you're a local entrepreneur selling a massive system to a university, your biggest fear is that the system crashes and your offshore developers just ghost you.
Right, because you're the one whose reputation is on the line locally.
Exactly. But Banty highlighted ATMC's clear mapping of the development process, their incredibly thorough technical documentation, and the fact that they provided 15 months of continuous, reliable support and bug fixing after deployment.
15 months. Wow.
Yeah. That back-end reliability is what allows a local agency like E-Top to confidently sell massive infrastructure.
It proves that the bridge between the Indian engineering team and the local African partner is actually functional.
Completely functional.
Which brings us to the logistics. Whether you want to lock down that 35% commission as a master franchisee, or you just want to hire ATMC to build a custom e-commerce platform for your local market, how do you actually take action?
Well, the sources are highly transparent about their contact avenues. If you look at their digital footprint, the official website is www.epmeconsultancy.com. And you can reach out via email at mesoftwares.com.
Okay.
They are also incredibly active on LinkedIn, where their company bio explicitly states they are seeking agency, franchisee, and joint venture partners.
But what blew my mind is how you actually get in touch with them for these enterprise deals. You aren't forced to fill out some massive corporate web form that just goes into a void.
No, not at all.
They literally list specific mobile numbers and tell you to just message them on WhatsApp or Telegram. The numbers are +91 6378 467 298 or +91 8952 03599.
It's such a brilliant reflection of their deep understanding of emerging market business cultures.
Totally.
If you look at their geographic footprint, yes, their headquarters are in Udaipur, Rajasthan, India, and they have a U.S. location in Denton, Texas. But their true on-the-ground power is across Africa and the Middle East.
Yeah, their LinkedIn locations list includes Nairobi, Johannesburg, Harare, Addis Ababa, Kampala, Kigali. I mean, it's a massive network.
And in those markets, WhatsApp isn't just a casual chatting app to text your friends. It is the primary engine of corporate communication.
Right.
It is how multi-million-dollar business gets done. So by relying heavily on direct, accessible tools like WhatsApp, ATMC is signaling something really important. They don't just build software for emerging markets. They operate at the cultural cadence of those markets.
That's a great point.
They are intentionally removing the friction of corporate bureaucracy right from the very first interaction.
So what does this all mean? When we pull back and look at the entire scope of what we've covered today, from the composable EV skateboard analogy to the sliding scale of franchise tiers, to deploying zero-knowledge AI architecture, it becomes clear that ATMC is doing much more than just selling software.
They're selling capacity.
Yeah.
They're taking the hardest, most expensive parts of the tech startup world, the coding, the server maintenance, the security compliance, and handing it over as a finished tool.
Right.
This allows the local founder to focus entirely on what they do best, building trust, navigating local politics, and solving the specific problems in their own community.
It really shifts the perspective on who gets to be a tech founder.
It does. And it leaves us with a rather profound geopolitical question to consider.
Ooh, let's hear it.
If local entrepreneurs in emerging markets can now deploy AI-driven, enterprise-grade civic and financial infrastructure with zero coding experience, simply by partnering with a firm like ATMC, what happens to the traditional global economic power dynamics over the next decade?
That's a massive question.
If you don't need to be in Silicon Valley to access Silicon Valley-level technology, will the next generation of massive tech hubs bypass the West entirely? Will we see the most innovative, deeply integrated digital societies emerge, not in California, but in hyper-local neighborhoods across Africa or the Middle East?
Wow.
Because the tools to build those societies are no longer gate-kept by venture capital. They're sitting in a catalog, waiting to be deployed by whoever has the local trust to implement them.
That is a massive shift in the landscape. So as you go about your day-to-day, take a look around your own community. Look at the local services, the logistics, the schools, the municipal systems. Ask yourself, what system is frustratingly inefficient? What Uber for X is missing right in your own backyard? Because the reality is the tools to build the solution, that underlying chassis, they're already built. They're just waiting for you to drop the shell on top.
Exactly.
Thanks for taking the deep dive with us. We'll catch you on the next one.